What is going on, guys? Jack here and welcome to another episode of FM Research, the series in which we look at elements of FM, test them, look at theories, try and prove them right or wrong. So today I'm back, and today is going to be a episode where we look at something that's shrouded with some controversy. So before we begin, I do not condone using this tactic. I'm doing this purely because I'm curious if it still works. And if you've read the title and you still don't know what I'm on about, we're going to be talking about the grid tactic today, which was an exploit in Football Manager 2012, which basically broke the match engine really badly. It used stuff like the corner glitch. If you don't know what the corner glitch is, it's basically a way you could set up your corners so your player would score like every corner that came in. And there was other exploits as well within Football Manager. But this was all for Football Manager 2012. And I'm curious, does the grid tactic still work on FM 2013? So to do this, we're just going to simply test it, see what happens. Basically, how I'm going to be doing this is I'm going to have 3 teams under 3 different managers. All the teams are in different tiers. I'm going to be using Aston Villa, Carlisle and Grimsby Town. For the Grimsby Town one, I'm actually going to be using the edited version from the physical technical test. So in that test, they always finish between 7th and 9th for the Grimsby Town team. So it will give me a good idea if they finish high up the league that this tactic is doing something for them. So as I said, this is the grid, what you can see here. It's a tactic which very much broke the game in Football Manager 2012. It was possible to get strikers scoring 100 and odd goals a season with ease. I've seen like it documented where Robin van Persie for Arsenal on last year's game got 14 goals in 4 games. So it really gives you an idea of how broken this made the game. So basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to set up this tactic on 3 different teams in 3 different tiers. I'm going to go on holiday for a season and we'll see where they finish, and I think we'll be able to draw from that and individual player performances just kind of what impact the formation is having on the team. So basically, guys, I'll join you in a sec for the postseason and we'll see what the grid has done for these teams. Okay, guys, so it is the end of the season. Let's see what's going on here. I can already see some stuff. Okay, so I suppose we'll start with the Villa review. So looking at Aston Villa here, they finished 13th with the grid tactic. So as you can see, grid tactic was used. It was the only tactic used. I went on holiday and forced it to be used. And in that time, Villa did not have the best of seasons. As we can see here, it doesn't look like it really worked for them, if I'm honest. Looking at the goals, the most goals they got in a game was 5. They did that twice at home to Wigan and West Ham. And other than that, there wasn't really that much success to tell you about, to be honest. Did reach the FA Cup 5th round, but lost on penalties. So it would appear that the grid tactic doesn't work on this game. Of course, I have loaded up multiple leagues so we can really test this, but already it's looking like it just doesn't work on this game. I actually know why it's not working, but I was curious to see if it still worked. But we'll see what happens. Okay, so we're now looking at Carlisle here in League 1. They finish 8th this year, which isn't actually too bad by Carlisle standards. You've also got to bear in mind, I didn't sign anyone, so perhaps a hint that this might be working. Looking at the goal scorers, there's no really crazy goal scorers to tell you about, but the 3 strikers have certainly grabbed the goals between them. Mark Beck here grabbing a few goals, so looking like there were goals, but nothing like the grid tactic of Football Manager 2012, if we're honest. Which doesn't really surprise me because on this game they did actually change the match engine, so that would clearly explain why it's not working. But of course, for my own curiosity and for you guys, I did want to test this to see if it worked. So here Carlisle finished 8th, which is above average, which makes you wonder if it's just a good tactic on this game rather than a pure exploit. But no, this looks promising. I suppose they've played okay with this kind of setup, but nothing kind of too game changing. So we'll just check the last one really quickly, which is the physical team. And where did they finish in the league? 4th. Okay. That makes me wonder. That shouldn't have happened. Well, it could have happened, I suppose. Basically, when I did this test before, you may remember, I did the technical v physical test, and technical always finished high up the league, and physical always finished low down. Looking at this, physical finished 4th, when I did my test before and I just went on holiday and left a computer manager in charge, they always finished between 7th and 4th, and they finished 4th and then they won the playoffs. So that's how I look at their individual players. No crazy goal scorers, it has to be said, just consistency. It looks like they just got results. 26 wins, 7 draws, 13 losses. Any games where they scored a ridiculous amount? They beat Technical 6-0, which didn't happen before, and 4-0. And drew 3-3 with them. But I don't know. As far as I can see, it really doesn't look like the grid tactic works on this, which doesn't surprise me because, as I said, the match engine changed. But this does leave the question, does the grid as a tactic in FM13 kind of present itself as a viable tactic normally? Because the match engine did change between Football Manager 2012 and 2013, which meant that stuff like the free striker exploit and the corner glitch, which we used with this tactic, don't work in this game. But to see them finish 4th leads me to believe that this tactic may just be viable as a half-decent tactic in some situations. Yeah, so I guess that's the results we can draw from this. It was kind of just a test out of curiosity, but you know, you hear a lot about the grid tactic, so hopefully this does kind of just clarify that it doesn't really work, guys. I'm going to be honest, it doesn't work in FM13. It works without question in FM12, I can tell you that for a fact. But all in all, fairly standard results, what I was expecting, but it's kind of good to kind of, I guess, denying or / confirm the myth that it no longer works, because clearly it doesn't. I don't really know what else there is to say. This was just really a one-off test. It's proved the point, and I feel very content with these results going forward. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video, testing out the grid, seeing if it worked. Clearly it doesn't in FM 2013. If you've got any comments with regards to this episode, how I could have done things differently, your opinion on the grid tactic. If you don't know anything about the grid tactic, I will add something to the description about it for your own personal reading if it's something you want to read about and maybe, you know, just understand a little bit more just what it did. But no, other than that, guys, as I said, leave a comment, leave a like if you've enjoyed the video. If you've got any suggestions for future research episodes, leave them down below. And other than that, it is me, Jack, guys, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.